let's talk about this December thing that's been going on. So I've been closed for December for Client Appreciation Month, and that was a direct result of being overloaded with work. The last video that I made 3 months ago, I showed off in a multitude of projects. I had Snow White going on, I had the QX4 hadn't even been started, I had Michael's FRS, tails and headlights. There was the Mercedes, that hadn't been started. These were all very large major builds that had some sort of emotional significance to them as well. So some of them just deposits had been in for significantly too long of a time. Some of them were just so intimidatingly large and complex builds that, you know, you have to sit back and stare at them for half an hour just to figure out even how you're going to attack it. What I do as a professional, as a business here, is that I don't do production builds. I don't do even two of a kind of anything, ever. Everything that I do here is always one of one. So every time I take on a build for a client, there's a bit of a learning curve of like, all right, well, how am I going to pull this one off now? So obviously there's a lot that transfers across from build to build, from project to project. That is the experience that I have that works in my favor, you know? But I'd say if I was going to summarize the last 3 months, it's just been trying to get back a hold of my business to provide the type of consumer experience that I would want to have as a consumer, to treat my clients appropriately and make sure that they get a good service and a good product in an otherwise questionable industry. Back when I was doing primarily car audio, a lot of systems and such, I mean, that was the big thing, is that like there's just a hack shop on every corner that'll, like, anybody will install your radio for 50 bucks. And then you come to me and it's 150 and they're like, why? And I'm like, well, your car won't burn down. That's nice. Headlights are crazier. So what I try and do is I'm not trying to meet a price point. I'm trying to meet a quality standard. A standard that really isn't set so much. There are larger companies who are obviously doing quality work repeatedly, and that's fantastic. So like at least there are places out there. What really bums me out is that the car audio industry as a whole really, they dabble in lighting and they're making it really bad for lighting people. To pose as an expert but not provide expert solutions that's a big no-no for me. I'll tell you straight up when I have no idea what I'm doing. Because, to be honest with you, it's the majority of the time. Most of the time, I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. I just happen to be really, really talented at winging it. And I'd like to attribute that to the fact that I have been a complete failure for my entire life. I'm not scared of making mistakes. I'm not scared of falling on my ass. I've been doing it my whole life. It's awesome. It's because of my complete fearlessness of going into new problems that allows me to accomplish the level of success that I have. So, speaking of this level of success that I've accomplished, so I knocked out all those projects over the last 3 months, made a bunch of money, which is super cool. For those of you who know me personally, I'm not huge on money per se. I don't think that there's necessarily like nobility in poverty, but I do believe that money isn't and shouldn't be the end-all goal. It's a symbol. It's a representation of an end goal. The point is that what I want is just freedom. I've just always been a big proponent for freedom. Do what makes you happy, you know? And for me, happiness is $15,000 a year profit. No more than that. So I did 17,000 profit this year, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal growth over last year and over the preceding year. However, that's, again, more than I wanted. So I found myself in December, crazy enough, I need to spend $2,000 invested into the shop. And of course, I went a little overboard. So let's go look at the cool things that I bought. So now it's officially a shop tour, like it's supposed to be, rather than a selfie monologue. Here's the deal. Nothing up here has actually changed. It was fun watching the progression of the LED collections, but now I just have 4 empty boxes, and it's all the same stuff over here. So really, it's not that interesting. These, however, are the Mercedes lights that took almost a year to get built. They were on the shelf out there. Now they're in here on display. They'll probably take another year before they get installed, but at least they're done. I've got a subwoofer down there, so haha, can't have any open spaces. This is all the same. This is all pretty much the same. When we come to the bathroom, the only thing that's changed in the bathroom is that I've switched over from Charmin Soft to Charmin Strong, so sweet. In the design center, not too much has changed. I'm missing a monitor right now because I'll get into that in a second, but I've got a casting couch now, which is cool. I feel sets a better tone in here because now multiple people can be in here. You can sit down and relax. Or lots of times people, when they can't leave their car here, they just crash on the couch, and I'm okay with that. Now over here, this is a little bit different. I used to have that tower thing, and I know feng shui is a thing, and I don't really claim to understand it, but I do know that I don't like vertical visual obstructions. That's why all of my rafters are painted white. I just don't like vertical visual obstructions. So these two were gifted to me. They were actually destined for the dumpster, and I salvaged them. So now I've got, this has really become like the paint staging area. I told you on the last video that I was kind of just trying out some ideas, and it turns out that I really liked having shelving over here because I do all the paint work here, and then so the different stages of paint or projects can all go here. So this is the GTR build. This basically, these are all ready for stripping and starting on the paint prep work. And then this, still long project, you know, sticker bombing always takes forever. That's in the sanded stage, so it'll be ready for some clear coat. Those I pulled out of the dumpster last night because I thought they looked really cool. I have no idea what I'm gonna do to them. Maybe I'll keep them, maybe I'll salvage them for scrap metal, who knows, whatever. Nothing's changed over here. I still have that Sam Media Blaster that I haven't touched since the day I bought it. That was probably a mistake. My airlines are really cool, I'm happy with them. So over here is the big deal, or a big deal, is that so this is the shelving rack that used to be over here, which used to be a table, and so now all that wooden multi-layer nonsense that actually used to be the hanging bed when I was in college, I designed and built that. That has been through, I guess, 4 different lifespans, and now that is in the dumpster. Or actually, I will tell you this is true. This top shelf used to be a shelf over there, which used to be my bed frame in college. So this piece of wood has been with me for realistically, well, let's just say 13 years. This is getting slightly more organized. The thing is that like it's actually less shelving space than it was before. So I've got all of this overflow mess, which I just haven't developed a system for yet, and I don't really know what to do with it. But regardless, that's a whole other story. New toy that I bought. I got this on that Black Friday weekend. It's a welding table. Finally, I have a welding table. Every time I did a welding project, I ended up doing it on the wooden tables, and it would leave a bunch of burn marks and stuff, and it really sucked. So now I got a welding table with all these little clamps and stuff that I don't know how to use. It came with feet. I hated that idea, so I bought casters, and so now I can roll it around, and that's pretty helpful. So I'm still kind of figuring out where to put that. This bad boy, he just showed up yesterday. I ordered that again over the Black Friday weekend. It is not assembled yet. I started assembling it last night, so it's still totally loose. It's a 20-ton press, and so people keep asking me, what are you gonna do with a 20-ton press? Well, I'm gonna press things with 20 tons of pressure. The real fun part is gonna be, where the hell is this thing gonna go? What I'm trying to do is just kind of figure out workflow in the shop. It's always been the goal since the beginning, which is how can I be more efficient with what I'm doing? I was working on the GTR headlights last night, so everything is out here. Been getting way too distracted, and so then, you know, like I couldn't help it. I had a new toy, like I want to assemble that, so I started assembling the toy. But GTR headlights are the next major big project up on the docket. So these things are super old and super beat up, and are gonna be a super big money thing, and I'm really excited about that one. I really hate this attic. Again, what I was just saying about vertical visual obstructions is there's so much crap up there. No, was, past tense. So that was one of the big projects between me and the girl. It was, she's an organization wizard. So we've been taking a lot of that stuff down and trying to organize it and place it accordingly. So now I'll go off on a random tangent here and say, like, oh my goodness, look how much more open these shelves are. So this is great. I don't have just backed up projects. The last 3 months, I've I've just been banging out projects, and all of December has been closed just to eliminate this backlog so I can finally deliver to these people what they're waiting for. Now, these Embros, which are Joe's, are probably just going to end up going back to him. He's never going to do anything with these. Those are actually staging boxes, so they're empty. So I use these for keeping organization with projects, which I like. Damn FRS tails are back for the third time. Let's not talk about those. RJ has now thrown in a deposit finally, so we've got his A-pillars that I promised him would be done before the end of the year. I lied. I'm sorry, RJ. And those are the tweeters for him. This is a warranty job I gotta go do. And then Nick's Buell, my first motorcycle retrofit, which is gonna be really exciting. Actually, when I say exciting, I mean it's probably gonna be a nightmare. We're putting 2 MH1s into an assembly that's like the size of a grapefruit. So who knows how that's gonna go, but I do know that I said I'd have it done before the end of December, and it's the end of December, and I'm nowhere near having that done. Again, I'm a filthy liar. I've been doing my best. I did have a big distraction somewhere in there. Danielle and I built a large concrete wall for privacy and security in her backyard, and that took up a large portion of this month. This is all clutter and stuff and crap, and that's the whole point, because this is different, because dun 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 dun, look, it's so much more organized and clean. So I built a shelf. Not that big a deal, but I now have, this is like just all personal stuff. Got my cooler, and these are, that's my library, so I got books, and I got little games, and this is all of my outdoor stuff. I am an outdoor enthusiast, so all of my camping and hiking and backpacking gear is all up in here, all my gun stuff, woo! And then I got a climbing harness. So that is some of the big things. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, the big purchase that we did here is up there, that little black dot. You see him? And then we go way back over here. Up in there is a little black dot. Let's see if we can see him. And guess what? There's 2 of them outside too. So I finally have a security system here in the shop. So actually right now I am recording myself, recording that. It's videoception going on right now. I can't even explain it to you. But that got installed over Christmas. Hey, look, I'm back. It's selfie time. So you can see all the stuff that I've spent my money on lately, and all the projects that I knocked out, so that's really nice. And you can kind of get a vibe for the fact that, like, all I'm trying to do is do a bunch of work. And man, let me tell you, for December, it just did not stop. I made it very public, like, yo, I am closed for December. And literally 2 to 3 times every single day, I sent out that picture of I am closed. You can reach out to me in January. I'm trying to establish the workflow and the balance where not only can I continue to produce work at a higher efficiency rate with maintaining the level of quality and customer satisfaction that I strive for, but not stress myself out and lose my identity in the process. The work-life balance is the most important thing for me. I would like to be able to live and enjoy my life. This work is artisan, it's artisanal work, which basically means like a happy 13 makes a better quality headlight. So one last thing that I bought that I'm really, really excited about, which I'll talk about now because it's definitely going to influence the next walkthrough video in 3 months, the last week of January, where I will be. Technically, it's not an install. I'll be in Arizona. I will be going to a Mobile Solutions Master Tech door panel fabrication training class. It's a 4-day boot camp, 8 a.m. to 5:30 every day, just crushing it, building a door panel from scratch. All fabrication techniques that are going to just absolutely, hopefully, for that price point, warp my brain into something amazing and phenomenal. This won't be the first time I've trained under Brian Schmidt. I've done one of his trainings back in the day when he came to Dow. I got that certificate in the wall still in the showroom. It used to be I would go to trainings all the time whenever they were offered, and not that I'm making excuses, but I mean the training offerings really dried up. The industry as a whole kind of started just focusing on Knowledge Fest, and I have yet to go to Knowledge Fest. 2020 will be the first year that I go to Knowledge Fest because they're finally bringing it to Orlando. So going to Mobile Solutions in Arizona, gonna learn some really cool stuff, and then I will be coming back, and then I got Braden's truck scheduled for right afterwards, and I'll be doing his sound system in the truck, which is going to be awesome. So I've been getting asked a lot lately where I see myself in a year. And my response to that every time has been, I don't know, my vision's not 2020. But truthfully, the goal is, as previously discussed, man, I just want to get things under control. I want to continue to develop the shop. I would love to get the cabinets done. But, you know, there's 8 million projects going at all different times. A lot of what I'm trying to focus on here is just that work-life balance, where I get to work on developing the shop. I'd love to work on my car. That was all I wanted to do for Christmas this year, was install my body kit that I've had for a year now, and I just, someday. But most importantly is I would like to continue to deliver a service to customers, to clients, develop those relationships, continue to nurture them, just be good to people. Make the world a better place, one car at a time. That's the mission statement of Superior Mobile, and I stand by that. I'm really excited for what's coming up here, and I've been loving the ride so far, and Arizona's going to be wild. That's going to be real wild. A big part of what I want to do coming up into the next year is work on the representation of myself, so that, because a lot of these emails, the people that like literally just price, ? Or how much. It doesn't matter at that point. You're already not my customer. The number of Instagram messages, oh my God, don't get me started on Instagram. Listen, that's advertising for me. From a purely business standpoint, I'm not there to socialize. I am there just to post my work. That's it. So you can see what I do. Like, that's a resume. Okay? Don't expect to engage me in conversation via Instagram Messenger, like, oh my God, or Facebook Messenger. Hell no. Absolutely not. So a big part of what I need to work on is like the website, for example, but just the social media presence of understanding that like the nature of the business that I run is that like I do this one-off stuff. So if you're just looking for an off-the-shelf solution, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's plenty of other companies out there for you. I am going to be the one where you've got a QX4, which is this oddball vehicle that no one's ever done. You've got this GTR build. You've got that motorcycle. But you got these exotic, sort of difficult, complicated, convoluted builds that doesn't fit your run-of-the-mill mainstream sort of shop that does this sort of thing. And you're willing to pay for quality. What I do is not cheap. I've never hidden this fact. This operation costs a lot of money. So that's going to be the client that I'm going to cater to. Because they're also going to be the client that's going to have higher expectations. And I'm also going to be the service provider that meet those higher expectations. Because, man, oh man, I have higher expectations. So I'm just saying, like, I know what it's like to be a frustrated consumer, and, like, I just try and make sure that, like, the service that I provide to people, just in the small little sect of the world that I play with, custom cars, whatever, I just try and make it a stress-free, enjoyable experience. Because the whole point, modifying cars, is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be cool, it's supposed to be something that brings joy, it's supposed to make the world a better place, one car at a time. Thanks for listening to my ramble. This is 13 with Superior Mobile ByThirteen. I'll catch you again in about 3 months or so, alright? Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, all that holiday festivity jazz. Hope it's all wonderful for you. I know I have been having a blast, and 2020 coming at you.